pleased to report that our mission of revenge is proceeding splendidly. Using existing space bridge technology, we shall drive the Earth, with Megatron on it, into the sun, where he will brawl. What is it? We're under attack!
Welcome back to the Titanium Hangar. This is Mike. Today I want to talk to you about the Magic Square MS-05 Night Tracer. Their take on a very G1-esque Onslaught, and it is a masterpiece scale. It is an upscale from their Legends version. Maybe there's some changes here and there, but I think it's been almost a year since I finished reviewing the Legends set, and I'm probably not going to remember all the subtle nuance differences between them. They seem quite similar, but pretty solid figure overall. Anyway, I did get this at Show Z Store. I'm going to have a link down below where you can get yours. TH and the reviewer. Support your reviewer. It helps channel out. But let's take a look at this guy, all his 3 modes, and check them out. It looks pretty good. Coming up. Here is the packaging. Looks pretty good. And then on the back, it's typical Magic Square packaging. A little bit of G1-esqueness with that Magic Square going on there. And nothing really to write home about. And it's packed in there sideways. Alrighty then, here it is right out of the packaging. And he looks pretty good overall. I like how this guy looks. He's got his stripe. Nice stuff. Backpack. Right out the box, you're going to have to do some stuff with this backpack. You just connect it down here. Slide it into there. And then I'm not going to open it back up, but you open these side pieces up to tab into here. But I actually had some trouble getting it flush. But that's just probably my copy. But I haven't heard anyone else having an issue with that. It just took me like 3 minutes versus what it should have taken 20 seconds. But I don't remember that having an issue on the Legends one. And probably won't have an issue going forward. I probably worked out whatever I needed to work out to make it work. This plastic is more solid. It's more rigid than what we had with the Legends one. The Legends one's a little bit more pliable, which is a good thing. I like the more solid plastic, especially on these masterpiece figures. But yeah, he looks great. I mean, they did a fantastic job carrying him into masterpiece level, and yeah, all around looking pretty good overall in bot mode. Very tuned, very clean, pretty much exactly what I wanted, but also exactly what I expected as having the Legends one already. I do want to quickly get into articulation and head. It actually swivels on this lower neck joint, and it can look up really high, which is great. Nice look. This at first I know it's correct. The head is correct looking, but it gave me some Soundwave vibes for a minute when I first was messing with posing them. And then shoulder, it's double jointed. Probably part of the transformation, but they gave it to you anyway. Get back in there. And 360, not ratcheted, but the double joint, one of the joints in here is ratcheted in this shoulder. Bicep swivel at the lower part, right, sort of at the elbow. And then you have, I think, 2 points. 1, 2, is it 3? 2 or 3 points of articulation. 2 points on each finger. And they splay pretty good hands. I do also want to say that you can do a faux trigger finger with these hands. He's not really holding a trigger, but it looks like it because you can make that finger work. So that action works pretty great. We've got waist swivel and the typical Magic Square ab crunch. They always engineer in the greatest ab crunches. Now, I will point out when it comes to these hip flaps, you can't move the leg with the side flaps in place. Coincidentally, I'm going to use the left side actually. Coincidentally, with this up, the hip flap won't go all the way down, which is not a big deal. So it's ratcheted way past the 90, and then to take it back, it's a little bit of a pain. The right side's easier to bring back than the left side for whatever reason. Anyway, the hip flap thing. I do like hiding hip flaps, though. That is really something that is an improvement that we've seen over the years. You have thigh swivel, you have the knee, double jointed knee. Kind of crazy amount of double joint that you get there. And then ankle rocker and crazy amount of ankle rocker. A little slight tilt so you can get whatever you need from this guy. Now I do want to mention that when it comes to Masterpiece Transformers, a lot of times when they're scaling it up from Legends to Masterpiece, there's that question, is there any die cast in it? I don't believe there's any die cast in this figure, which is fine with me because he is going to be the torso and we just need it to hold together. We don't need it to weigh down, and definitely not in the limbs either. But no die cast, yet he still kind of has a sheen to him. It can kind of sparkle. I like that. Now, some people say that it's fully painted all over. Some people say that it is sprayed with something to give it more of a sheen, to give it a premium look. And then the chest does kind of appear to be a little on the textured side. It's not bad or anything. I'm not sure if that was intentional or if that is part of this overspray, kind of a gloss that they put on it. Again, I don't know the manufacturing processes behind this. I'd just say it still looks pretty good overall. Right, for comparisons, he's a little bit taller than Prime's, or maybe right at the exact same height. It's really hard to tell. The camera sees it from a different angle than I look at it, because I'm looking over the camera, which is why whenever in editing, I'm like, it looks different on the camera than it looked to me when I was looking at these. But anyway, this is the Fantastic Model Fans Toys White Prime. This is Magic Square's Prime. These two are winning the Crotch Wars, and no one else is even competing in the Bruticus Wars. Here's how he scales next to Megatron. I should probably pull Starscream, because he's Starscream's creation in a way. But there it is. And then we've got X-Transbot's version of Ultra Magnus, and that's Cyan Culture Metroplex. Yeah, let's figure. So I've got it around. Why not compare it? Now this comparison really isn't fair because this is a 5 bot, so he's got to be bigger for the torso, but he also comes with his pants. He'll come with the thighs later in one of the arms, but this is X-Transbots and their Devastator part. The thing about this is it long haul? Yeah. But the thing about this is that he is taller and bigger, even though this guy is pretty good size. Just want to show that. Right now for the transformation, it's pretty similar to the Legends. Of course, that's the whole point of this exercise here, but I guess we start with the arms. We're going to flip it up, flip this around, fold it down. We want to get the hand under here, make yourself a fist, and then we're going to flip this around, and then we're going to fold it up. Now this is double jointed, so you have to have both joints in the up position, and he's a tall guy, so probably be adjusting the camera quite a bit through this, but there's a tab in there. Make sure the tab's in place. Let's do the same thing with the other side. Shed a little more light on this situation here. Turn this around. We're going to open this up after I've done like all that work with this to get it to stay. We're going to open it up and just kind of keep it out of the way here. And then we're going to pull all this stuff up. I'm going to have to adjust this down, and that'll be good for that. So this is going to come up, and we're creating the grill part here, and we have to fold out these pieces. What is it? The headlights. Come on out. And then this comes down, and we're going to go over. We're going to bring this over, and we're forming it like so. As you can see what's happening here, but you gotta move stuff past stuff. This is where the design, and people complain about stuff like this, but this is where a Magic Square design for the Legends, you can just kind of bend it. I don't know this plastic can handle the type of bending that the Legends plastic can handle, so you just gotta be careful with that. This is much more rigid. There's a tab and a slot here, tab and a slot here, and then just kind of work all that in. Make sure this is properly seated in there, because I did that off camera. It was very, very simple. We can open this up. We can bring out the wheel. Gotta check, see if I can leave that out. So yeah, we'll just do the same thing on the other side here. Fold that wheel out. Then we need to get to working on all this business. Back here, this door, open it up. This window, come on window, you can do it. Pop this window up, and then fold this tiny filler out. It goes right here. And then we have this piece is going to fold in. Oh, fold up that direction. And then we're going to get all this stuff here out. Fold this around. And then fold this tab in. Same thing on the other side. Hello from the other side. We're going to fold this up. I don't know why this little window is just so hard to get up. And then tiny little pieces right there. This comes forward and is part of the cab, which will tighten a lot of that stuff up at the end here. And this is opening and folding around. And yeah, that piece kind of is in there. So these fold into there. And we've gotten it to this point. And at this point, we need to rotate the hips. Got my hand upon my hip. And let's see here. This is like so. We are going to need to come down here, and we have a bunch of untabbing on the leg to do, which is going to be some fun. So let's open that up. When we untab this side over here. Actually, I have to untab the bottom next. So this is the next step. And then this piece here. There we go. We can open that up. And we're going to fold this part here. This comes out too. There we go. Starting to take some shape on this. Feel a little better angle here now, because this is some sliding joints that are going to have to go into effect here to slide this down and slide this down. We want this out of the way and rolled to the side, and then we're going to fold the foot in, and then we'll double hinge it down. The foot becomes part of the bed, which is intelligent, of course. And then this will tab in. And now I'm filming it like the camera's getting a good angle, but my angle for working on it's not very good right now. Let's pull it off camera to tab it in. Okay, the foot is just a little bit lower, and then this is going to come down. It needs to go into this groove here. All right, should have tabbed this in last then. That's part of, okay, that makes sense. That's why it wasn't making sense at first. It tabs in. After you fold that down, the side piece tabs in. So we've got all of this, and we need to put all of this together. So we need to lift this up so it matches. We want this, the hip flap fully in there, the whole ab waist thing into there. And then we are going to open up some more of this stuff. The weird thing is it's just like a 1/2 inch to get the tabs and the clearance and stuff. You have a mushroom peg here that it's going to mushroom peg to. I don't know why it's not mushroom pegging right for me. And then this is going to come over and fold this piece up. We have to kind of clear that and get all this tabbed in. And there's one side. We can do this all to the other side. And I'll be back. Okay, so did the same thing on this side as the other side. There is this thing here that has to fold out. And so that is definitely a thing that has to happen. Fold this piece here up also so we get around that. And you can tuck that in there. And then this is going to tab together. I feel like there's quite a bit of openness right here. I'll look into that here in just a bit. And then we tab all this together. Of course, that's going to tab into that. The mushroom peg into here. And then we've got the tabs on the lower area. And I forgot to fold these up, heel spurs up. And we're almost there, almost there. Just got to go around and tab everything in. Make sure everything's 100% tabbed in. Just right. So it works. Might have to lean those in just a little bit. And I'll check it over one more time and then we'll come back and have a look at it. All right, so here he is in his all boat. He's long. He's going to get the friction on with extending barrels there. Yeah, it looks pretty good. It's what I would imagine from a vintage one. And yeah, gets the job done. Really does. Really does work. I don't know if I've got a vintage one that I'm going to be able to use for a comparison that's not already combined. But yeah, this looks good. I like it. Now, I did have one issue, which it seems to be working itself out now. It didn't tab in all of the way. It kind of wants to move out just a tad. So I probably would fiddle with it a little more. I'd probably fix that, resolve that issue. I think I remember this from the Legends one, this being a bit of an eyesore, but when you move this down, it's barely noticeable. And it's just engineering. At some point, you have to make these parts stop and start and make it work. So I think I'm okay with this. I think this looks good. And the fact that we have the cannons all engineered in and all that kind of stuff, that works really well. So they've done a good job with it. I do feel like the waist piece keeps it from truly rolling. Maybe, am I able to pull the wheels down a little bit? Is there something I'm missing with that? It's just, I don't feel like the waist piece should be hanging it up like that. But anyhow, it still looks good. Looks great. Gets the job done. The folding wheels keep wanting to fold in on me on this one, but won't have it in this mode for long because, you know, we're trying to combine this thing. All right, here he is next to X-Transbot's long haul. So it's long versus bulky. And then what can we have him haul over here? A Fan's Toys. Does that fit? Yeah, well, yes, no. Are they really in the same world at the same time? I don't know if they were ever on the screen at the same time. And then here we go with, this is actually the KO of the MP44. And I just store these together like this. It works. Gotta have fun with it, right? This is how it compares to Takara, Ultra Magnus, and for those of you who didn't know, I guess RC ended up with Ultra Magnus in the end. Somebody's got to put it back together every time he gets blown up, but there is the size comparison. There we go. Does that work? One last thing is you can fold that down and plug this in as weapon storage if you like. I think it looks terrible like that, but storage is good so you don't lose it. So I like that. Now getting this transformed up, it's kind of a beast. I was trying to decide what would be better to transform it back to bot mode and then go to the combined mode, and it's kind of 60% one, 40% of the other. So we're just going to undo a lot of what we just did right here, and I think that that's the best route to go. Alright, untab all of this stuff here. Untab this tab here. I guess we'll just have to undo it all from all sides at once. Once these tab in, they're all tabbed in together, holding each other together. It's actually kind of a good thing when, you know, all the tabs are holding it together and making it solid, but then trying to separate it, it makes it a little more challenging. And with that, there's a lot to do. I guess we can do the legs first and get that taken care of. We will effectively be redoing a lot of what we just did and making these back into more or less the legs. And you know, that's going to fold around. This goes back up. This one here goes back up. That tabs in to this. This will heel spur come out, and we have to bring this down, tab these back into themselves, fold this down, and then do the same thing on the other side. Do the same thing with the other side. We're going to fold this piece down here and get that like so. And then we need to open this out, fold this around, then lift this up, kind of slide those back into place, then tab it, leaving the foot there, but pulling out the heel spur so that this can tuck in, this can come down, and then we can tab all of this into place. Oh, fold this in. There's no need for it to be out. I'm not sure if it would cause any issues though, if it were out. But we've got that, and probably we'll kind of leave this like so. Oh no, I need to fold this in too. So I think we've got the legs ready to go back to what we need them for. And it's kind of interesting how all this works, but I mean it works all the same as the Legends for the most part for this. Now we're going to do a whole lot with all of this, but we need to untransform and retransform all this. So it starts with the doors because it ends with the doors and all of that. Fold this back in, break a nail. So I can't wait to tell my wife I broke a nail, transformer to transformer. That's awesome. Get this like so. Fold this in, and is it a win? We'll bring these out. These pieces here have to come out. Then they have to open. They got that little piece there. All right. And then this will come down. This will it should tab into place right there. But it won't unless this tab here comes out. There we go. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead and undo what's going on with this front piece here. See, gotta kind of pull this out. That did not sound good, Mike. That doesn't sound good. We have to pull this, untab, and then untab, and lift. Patented lift and tuck. So we're gonna fold these lights in, get this down to where it should be. All this is going back to how it should be. We are going to do a lot of crazy stuff here with this backpack, but we need to do some stuff with the arms. And let me see the correct positioning of these arms the way we had it. And all right, I'm gonna have to cut some of that out. So redoing this whole arm situation here, what I'm gonna do, fold this tab back up, and this is gonna come up and it's gonna come over, and then it's gonna fold in, but we have to fold it in on the interior on this. And I knew there was a catch, a trick, because I mean the Legend one works the same way mostly, but that's how it's done. Took me a little bit with the first one, but kind of it's way easier when I've just kind of taken one and I'm like, yeah, that's how it goes. Been a while. Okay, now getting into the backpack. We're going to open the backpack up, which I've spent so much time closing it up just right. I want to get excited. We're going to flip this around, get this into here. we're going to have the bigger stuff going on. But we actually have more stuff to do than that. Open this up, fold this out, and I'm not sure if we're going to just yet. We probably don't even need to close anything up just yet, but all right, open this up, flip this around like so, open this up, and this backpack piece is gonna come together. We want to align this, keep this aligned as we work on it. This part here kind of all came undone on me. I just had to put it all back the way it's supposed to be, but all right, let's get this going on right here. We are going to put this backpack into place. It's moving on me too, so this is kind of a pain. Let's fix the hands a little bit. Get this. Bring it up. There we go. These are going to fold over. This is going to go into place here. And then we need to get, let's get a better angle on this. This is opened up here, and we are going to make sure that we have these tabs here aligned with the slots there, and then fold this up. Now we're going to bring the legs up. So I'm trying to get all this so you don't have to open and close it 3 times, because the legs are going to clip into here. So that's the tricky part. Let's get into the legs, and then we can get this all finished up. So we're going to open up this. You have to have the hip flap straight, and like everything has to be just right on it. Flip it around to where this will come up. This will untab, and it'll come up here, and then we can tab this foot into the backpack. Then we start closing it up, and then we start really solidifying the combine mode. I think part of this went off camera too much, but should still get the point across. And then same thing on the other side, which I do struggle with one of these hip flaps getting realigned. I don't know why. It seems like a struggle for me to get it realigned, but you have to have that hip flap, or the front flap, straight, and then this rotates around and then untabs at the knee. There it goes, and then goes into this. So doing the transformation in my head was so much easier. I was like, well, you know, all this, the backpack opens up, you can end up opening it 3 times or so. Let's just do it all once. Now we're cooking. And it's another one of those things with, well, Magic Square, but mostly pretty much all the Masterpiece figures. Once you've got it together, it holds together pretty well. I do kind of feel like I need to do something else with those arms. I still kind of feel like my arms are just a little bit too high on that part there. It's like not all the way over. But anyway, it's close. I mess with it a little bit more and we'll have a look at it. But yeah, it's pretty much same thing that we did with our Legends. All right, here's the alt mode. There's not much to say about the alt mode except for the fact that this doesn't quite connect to it, but that gives an idea of what it's going to look like. And it is significantly bigger than the Legends one. Now, it's been a while since I've really messed with the Legends one, so I get it out to show, and it is significantly different, and but yet still the same. Like the whole concept, conceptually, it's about the same. Let's see here. You can see that side by side, what it looks like next to the Legends, and they've engineered some more fillers in here, which is like, I guess that's how that's supposed to go. And so they've done some stuff a little bit different. They still retain the overall idea of the transformation. I mean, you can see little pieces here, match little pieces there. They've maintained that. Some parts have changed. Maybe I would actually say I think that the Masterpiece transformation is a little bit better And then as you can see, the weapon storage, might as well store the weapon so you don't lose it on there. But it's going to be a big boy. I mean, look how much bigger it is than the... I like showing the back. You can see more of what is going on with this figure, but much, much bigger. It's going to be massive. Alright, so this is... Is this going to hold up if I put it on there? Nah, it's not going to do anything. It's my look at the Magic Square Onslaught, what do they call it? MS-05 Night Tracer, and I'm ready to combine this bad boy. Like, we got 2 limbs and it's done. 2 more reviews and we'll... And that's the thing. Yeah, I'll just be combining it because I've got it all ready to go. Fast and easy to get her together, make it happen. And there's a lot of weight on this. This thing's getting kind of heavy. But I did get this to Shows You Store. I have a link down below where you can get yours if you're interested in doing this. And I say it's a pretty good set. Even if you just want them for bot mode, every one of them is great in bot mode. Alt modes are fantastic. And combined mode, we don't know yet, but I do believe it's going to be solid. I have the Legends one, as you see, but I have a link to where you can get this at Shows You Store. TH in the support your reviewer. We'll help the channel out. Tydirium Hanger out.
I beg your pardon. My strategy is brilliant. You're all military morons.
Identify yourselves!
Some refer to us as combaticons, but...
I am also known as Bruticus. Robots defeated.
I must protect Cybertron from all hostile threats.
Decepticon technology has advanced considerably since we were imprisoned by Megatron. Perhaps the power of this device could be altered to effect our revenge on Megatron.